I hope you're all out there having the best day possible. And as always, I appreciate you taking a bit of time out of that day to actually watch one of my videos. And in this one, I just wanted to briefly talk about the price of silver actually dropping by about $1 overnight. I'm not sure if last night it was already in the 23s. I didn't really get to check it then, but when I did check this morning, I saw it as low as 23.25. I think it's more like 23.40 right now, but still around $1 drop off from in the mid $24 range where it was trading at, and that was already down from about $25. So I know a lot of people are probably feeling a bit disappointed because it seems as though every time silver prices start to go up and people actually start to get excited for a little bit, the price then drops right back down. And if you bought in at that $24 area, now all of a sudden your order's losing money on the way in the mail. I know that actually happened to me when I bought that constitutional silver lot at spot. Now it's lost like about 4 or 5% of its value just from the price that I purchased it at before it's even arrived at my doorstep. So obviously it sounds like, well, why do you even want to stack silver then? But as much as checking the price daily is a good way to know when to buy and sell based on dollar cost averaging, because you do want to try to buy when the prices go down, you can't let it stress you out if you happen to purchase silver and then the price goes down a little bit, because silver is not ever going to go to zero. That's the basic premise you need to understand. As long as you're investing money into silver that you don't need to take back out within the next 6 months or even the next year, as long as you're investing auxiliary income or extra income that you can afford to put into silver without it affecting your life in any way, the way that you should be doing any investment, but especially with something where you're not going to be able to pull out your money for a long time if you don't want to potentially lose money, as long as you're investing that way, you really don't have anything to be worried about, because silver is never going to crash to nothing. That is actually impossible. I know it sounds crazy to say, but technically, if you had nobody ever, no, there is no way that silver will ever go to zero. It is not that type of investment. It has actual utility in industry beyond the fact that it has value as real money as well. And of course, it's not being valued in that way right now because society has deemed that fiat currency is what we're actually going to use to exchange goods and services rather than relying on a system of silver. But that constant industry demand on such a massive amount of products, including basic electronics, is not something that can be entirely replaced. I know that at times industries will look to replace more expensive metals with cheaper ones, especially like gold. They'll try to replace with using silver in components, for example. And if silver prices ever got too high, maybe they would try to do the same thing towards copper. But not everything can be replaced electronically, and that's also going to be expensive to develop the research in order to do so, and it's going to take time. So silver is not just going to lose all its demand one day. And here's the other thing: if prices went up so high that it forced industries to get out of silver, the silver price would still be going up in the first place. You would still have an opportunity to sell. So really, it just doesn't make any sense to even imagine a world where silver goes to zero, because it just is not possible for that to happen. So as long as you understand that you're never going to actually be forced to lose money because you've invested money that you can afford to spend, and because of the fact that you're holding a tangible investment that's not going to go to zero, so you never need to sell just to cut your losses, whenever silver prices go down, it shouldn't really actually affect you because you don't have to sell at a loss. You can just wait. And I know you might be thinking, but what if silver never goes back up to this price? Well, you didn't buy during the massive rush where silver hit $50 an ounce, right? You bought when silver was what, $26 an ounce? It's not unreasonable to say that one day silver will once again surpass $26 an ounce. I know that there are years where the silver price closes at a lower price than it was the previous year, but start to look at 5-year periods, start to look at decades. Decade on decade, silver always closes way higher at the end of the decade than it did at the beginning, and this is where the whole functionality of silver, allowing you to preserve your wealth while while fiat currency is actually losing its value all the time, that is where the actual value of silver comes in here. As long as you are investing for a very long-term plan will actually allow you to preserve your wealth, then the short-term silver price fluctuations shouldn't matter to you, beyond the fact that if prices shoot down, that's just a chance to buy more silver and get more weight for your money at that time and actually be even better prepared in the future. With that being said, though, I do hope you enjoyed this quick video, and I just don't want people to panic just because silver prices are going down. That's the whole, I guess, goal of this video, is to basically say, obviously silver is not just a long-term investment like everyone says, but it's not even an investment where you need to worry about the price so much, because it's never going to go to zero, and it always does manage to actually outpace inflation and allow you to preserve your wealth if you look at historical trends. And if you were to purchase during times where silver dips down a lot, you can actually even do a little bit better than that inflation. I mean, if you look at February of 2020, when silver was in the $12 range an ounce, if you bought some silver then, you could have literally just about doubled your money, what, a year and a half later, when silver was getting pumped, not even a year and a half later, because 6 months ago, when everyone was freaking out about the silver squeeze, prices were hitting around $26 an ounce. So you could have more than doubled your money in about a little over a year period. So definitely something else to be considering is that these price fluctuations can actually be a really good thing for you if you still have the money to invest. And as long as you're keeping money on the side all the time and not going all in with your auxiliary income on every silver purchase you make, then you could potentially have more income to actually put towards silver when the price goes down. And yeah, just try to use these times to your advantage rather than being scared away from silver, because you never take a loss until you sell at a loss. As long as you hold your silver, you're not actually taking a loss. It's just that the fiat currency value of your silver stack might have gone down a little bit. But that is truly it for this one now. If you found yourself enjoying the video at all, if you don't mind dropping a like on it, I would greatly appreciate that. Along with subscribing to the channel, these are all things you can do to actually help it be boosted a little bit in the algorithm. Peace.